This video is sponsored by Geek Fuel. This is your Game of Thrones news update. Usually I do these every 7 days, but a lot has happened in the past few days since I released my last news video, so this one is super early. Because of that, the giveaway in last news video is still going on, so if you want to enter that, just pop over to my last news video, go to the end, enter the giveaway, and then I will announce the winner on next news video's video, which will be next week. Alright, warning, there are spoilers for Season 7 of Game of Thrones. Massive, massive spoilers. If you don't want them, if you want to go in completely unspoiled in Season 7, please stop watching this video. So after I published my last news video, photos appeared online of Daenerys and Jon meeting along with a video. The video made it appear that Daenerys was outside, watching her dragons when Jon comes down to talk with her. With the different outfits on Jon and even Daenerys, we're getting multiple meetings with them together on multiple days. And may I say, Jon is looking quite fashionable. There were also leaks of Jon and Tyrion shaking hands, and I'm really excited for Jon and Daenerys meeting, but for some reason, seeing Jon arrive at Dragonstone with Davos and meet with Tyrion got me a little teary-eyed. A lot has happened since those two last saw each other. There's also a few images showing Davos and Jon ducking down and Tyrion helping Jon back up. So the best guess is they see some dragons for the first time, and I think back to how much I love seeing Tyrion experience dragons for the first time, and now I really can't wait for Jon and Davos to see a dragon for the first time and their reaction. Of course, Jon has seen some shit and so has Davos, so it might not be as crazy as maybe Tyrion viewing a dragon, especially since Tyrion had a whole thing with dragons, but I'm still excited to see. Other photos show Daenerys' whole crew with her, so we're getting a ton of major characters all in one location, meeting and talking, and likely discussing two major problems, Cersei and the others. Also, Jorah Mormont's actor was spotted in the filming location for Dragonstone, and then photos of him actually on set interacting with Daenerys, Tyrion, and Jon were seen. And might I add, Daenerys is wearing a wonderful red cape in this scene, which means she's starting to embrace those Targaryen colors. Now with Jorah, a video showed him actually leaving Dragonstone, so now the question is, why is he leaving? Why did he go there in the first place? Maybe to tell her I can't find a cure, maybe to tell her he did, maybe he's going with Jon somewhere to do something. Who knows? With the leaks that have been coming out that have been stating Jon's actually going to go with a party to the north to bring back a White Walker in order to show Daenerys, hey, this shit is real. I'm a little worried that maybe Jorah is going with Jon on a suicide mission, but then I'm a little hopeful that maybe he's gonna go with Jon to the north and he's going to reunite with Lyanna, who's gonna have some words for him. Also, since Jorah and Jon are going to be together, this definitely means we're going to get a scene where Jon tries to give back the sword, or maybe Jorah talks about the sword Longclaw, and they decide whether Jon should keep it or not. I would imagine Jorah would let him keep it, but again, we'll have to see. Another rumor confirmed to be true with photos is the meeting between Theon and Jon. Theon arrives at Dragonstone and Jon is just as enthused to see Theon as we would expect. In the video posted online, Jon grabs Theon and yells at him, likely threatens him, and after other characters step forward, maybe worried about how intense Jon is getting, Jon walks off, obviously furious. And I would imagine that Jon is feeling some strong emotions towards Theon. He's the man that betrayed his family, and besides that, Jon has to worry now, okay, he betrayed my family, his adoptive family, what's going to stop him from betraying us or Daenerys? And I'm more than sure he's going to bring that up to her, and she's going to consider what he says, but still keep Theon close to her. One puzzling photo taken at Dragonstone was of a woman all in red, much like Melisandre. So there's definitely a red priestess at Dragonstone. I'm hoping Dany isn't stupid enough to try to make the Lord of Light a major religion in Westeros after she takes over. That's going to be a lot of change to take in all at once. But who knows, maybe a dragon lady taking on the undead will make believers out of them. Oh, Gendry was also spotted at Dragonstone. I know a few people tried to tell me I was wrong on my last video saying, no, that wasn't Gendry, that was Podrick. It's been confirmed with photos that it is Gendry, it's not Podrick, which makes complete sense for that scene. So I guess the question at this point is, who isn't at Dragonstone this season? Oh right, the people about to get their asses kicked. In other news, Philip O'Sullivan will be part of Game of Thrones Season 7 and is playing a Citadel Maester. Hopefully a nicer one. Emilia Clarke celebrated her 30th birthday with her castmates and friends, and David and Dan dressed up as Dora the Explorer and SpongeBob. Emilia's face accurately represents how I felt seeing this image. As well, as of right now, at least one little bird has been confirmed for Season 7 of Game of Thrones. Now, is this little bird still loyal to Qyburn? Or did she go back to Varys? Or was she always working for Varys? Alright, before I finish off this video talking about the big plot leak that happened online, sharing it with you and my thoughts on it, I want to briefly talk about Geek Fuel, who is sponsoring this video, and this is the last video that they're sponsoring. So like I said before, Geek Fuel ships out a great box for geeks and gamers each month that has at least $50 worth of value for around $15 plus shipping and handling. Every box has an exclusive t-shirt, a full game, and a total of 5 to 7 items. Why they reached out to me is because this month they are offering an exclusive Game of Thrones item as part of their October box, which includes a dragon egg that can work as a storage container or a toothbrush holder. They have 2 bonus items, the Hand of the King wax seal kit and a direwolf statue. If you use my link in the video description below, they'll include a licensed Game of Thrones bonus item in your first box. Alright, so plot leak. There was a plot leak posted online by someone that seemed to be fairly accurate, spelling out what's going to happen in Season 7 of Game of Thrones, and I'm sure everyone watching this video has already read the entire thing. With my luck, by the time I post this video, something's going to come out saying either it was false or proved. I don't know. I always have terrible timing with these videos. So in case you haven't read this, I'm going to read through the synopsis for each episode and just add in my thoughts here or there. These leaks are unconfirmed and are from a poster that we don't have credentials from, so keep that in mind while listening to this. Alright, episode 1. White Walkers are marching to the wall. Bran crosses the wall and meets with Ed. This seems to be accurate as we know Bran is filming scenes at Castle Black and has filmed at least one scene with Ed. At Winterfell, Sansa wants to give lands of those that betrayed Jon to those that supported him. Jon refuses to hold the children of the Umbers and Karstarks responsible for what their fathers had done. Sansa and Lyanna aren't pleased, but Jon basically tells them to deal with it. This is how he rules. Honestly, this scenario makes sense for Sansa, who has a ton of anger towards the Northerners that stayed with the Boltons or helped them. Jon's response is just as likely, as he's a bit more forgiving than his sister, which may play into what Kit said. Everything Jon does moving forward is affected by him knowing once you die, there's nothing. So he likely doesn't want to hurt others without cause. Meanwhile, Daenerys arrives at Dragonstone. Seeing her at her family's home and where she was born, I think will be absolutely amazing. Episode 2. Jon receives a raven from Dany. She is summoning the Lords of Westeros. This is neat because it mimics Aegon the Conqueror, who also sent letters to the lords and, well, kings at that time, when he began his conquest. Jon and Davos decide to go to Dragonstone because they need dragon glass. Jon leaves Sansa in charge of Winterfell and leaves Ghost as well, where Ghost will stay all season. Jon and Davos going to Dragonstone would be a smart move, and putting Sansa in charge is a logical step. What's worrisome is this means Littlefinger will start playing more games with her. Ghost staying at Winterfell is solely a budget reason. Episode 3, Jon and Davos arrive at Dragonstone and meet Tyrion. Jon meets Dany. Dany demands he bends the knee and he refuses. He tries to convince her of the White Walker threat, but she doesn't believe him. Tyrion insists that Jon isn't crazy, and Davos tries to bring up Jon's resurrection, but Jon dismisses it. Again, all of this seems plausible. Bran arrives at Winterfell, and Mira returns home. Isaac was reported to be at the Winterfell set, and we know Mira was at the Winterfell set because she was photographed around that location. So them arriving at Winterfell would not be surprising either. I kind of hope that Mira heading to her home means that she's going to come back with Reed, and he's going to lay down some truth facts. But with these other leaks, it appears maybe that won't be necessary. Number 4. Arya arrives at Winterfell. We've already seen photos of Maisie on location with the other Starks, so this isn't too far-fetched, especially with how close she is to Winterfell. Episode 5. Sam leaves Old Town for Winterfell with Gilly and baby Sam. Jorah arrives at Dragonstone. Jon receives a raven saying Arya and Bran are at Winterfell. What an amazing feeling that must be for Jon. He at first thought he just got one sibling back, but to have 2 more? That has to be such a fantastic feeling. Jaime, Bronn, Tyrion, and Davos have a secret meeting trying to convince the Lannisters to surrender to Daenerys. But Jaime refuses, and this is in line with what Jaime's actor has been saying. Gendry is found in King's Landing making weapons and goes with Davos and Tyrion. This is consistent with the leaks. Episode 6, Jon Davos the Hound, Beric, Thoros, Tormund, Jorah, Gendry go white hunting and capture one. The team is attacked by the Night King, including a white polar bear, and the bear kills Thoros in a slow death. They are surrounded and Daenerys rescues them with her dragons. She flies them to Eastwatch except Jon, who is left behind. Jon is almost killed, but Benjen rescues him, sacrificing himself so Jon can get away. Bum life, Benjen. Viserion is killed and raised as the Night King mount. Jon lays down his title as King in the North if Dany will help him against the White Walkers. This episode will be action-packed, but I'm not sure about it. I'm not thrilled that this is how one of Daenerys' dragons dies, but an undead dragon is going to be awesome. I can't lie about that. Finally, episode 7, Sansa sentences Littlefinger to death, which Arya carries out. Maybe Peter was scheming too much, or Sansa just had enough. This seems a tad far-fetched without knowing what he's been up to and what pushed Sansa that caused it to be enough was enough. The claim is Littlefinger tries to play Arya and Sansa against each other and he is found out. Cersei awakes in bed, soaked with blood. It's believed she miscarried. And we're just piling on Cersei losing babies here, aren't we? Sam and Bran figure out Jon's heritage and that he is a legitimized Targaryen named Aegon. Jon and Dany have sex for the first time on a boat. And I hope to God they do the family reveal with Sam and Bran and then directly cut to sexy time. It's going to be even better when they find out and Jon just freaks the fuck out and Dany's like, "What? Aunt and nephew is tame for us. Now come back to bed." The season ends with the wall coming down and the Night King attacking the wall with his dragon, who now breathes blue flame. Pretty cool. There's some other tidbits too. The most interesting is Jon offering Jorah back Longclaw, which he refuses to accept. Drogon allowing Jon to pet him, which surprises Dany. A flashback to Rhaegar and Lyanna's wedding. Jaime supposedly does leave Cersei, which, oh thank God if that's true. The Queen of Thorns is poisoned. Yara is captured by Euron. Arya encounters Nymeria and poisons most of the Frey men while wearing the face of Walder Frey. Sam finds a cure for grayscale when Jorah meets him in Old Town. Dorne and Highgarden are attacked, and Euron kills 2 sand snakes and makes Illyria watch one of them die. So whether you think that this plot leak is legitimate or not, I do think it's a bit fun to talk about the possibilities for Season 7 of Game of Thrones. So even if it comes out that this guy just was a total asshole, he just did it to be a little troll, I still think it's fun to discuss these things. So what do you think about these leaks? Again, I will announce the winner from last news video's giveaway in my next news video, so if you haven't entered that giveaway, go to that last news video, skip to the end, and enter it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe, and come back for more Game of Thrones news updates every week. So how Pycelle is going to use her is Qyburn. Why did I say Pycelle? That was such a weird thing to say.